I feel like I'm not like as coherent as I usually am right now.
It's 2 o'clock in the morning.
I know. Hey everyone, it's Akiva.
And Misha.
And welcome back to another episode of The Bemused. So I'm really excited about today's video. This is probably the most important video that we've ever done so far on this channel. Today we're going to be talking about understanding your relationship with money, why that's so important to building wealth and managing your money. And we're also going to be sharing with you a really cool tool that you can use to evaluate your money relationship. And make sure you watch all the way till the end because we're going to have a special offer unique to our The Bemused viewers. So make sure you watch all the way till the end to take advantage of that promotion. So why is understanding your relationship with money so important? And what does that even mean anyway? So I consider myself a very frugal person, for example. But why is it that every single time I walk past an Auntie Anne's, I cannot help myself but stop and buy something? You know, kind of speaks to some of my, money behaviors. And I also have a tendency of liking to see money in my bank account. So I'm the type of person where I'll be super and overly aggressive with my savings just because I like to see zeros in my bank account. Why do I do that? So Mishak and I are both going to use this tool to help evaluate our money behaviors, and then we're gonna have a little chit chat about it and see how that affects our relationship with each other relative to money.
So just like Akiva, I also am obsessed, not obsessed, but it's something that I work towards, seeing a certain number in my bank account. Like she said, although I might be able to resist that Auntie Anne's pretzel smell in the mall or be able to walk by a clothing store, I do, like everyone, have some sort of money habit that I cling towards.
And these money habits, they're not necessarily all bad. It's really just knowing more about yourself as a person and how that affects what you do with your money. So other examples might be friends that just love spending their money on their friends. It might not even be that they're bad at managing their money or bad at budgeting, but they have a soft spot for people and that's where all their money goes to. So it's just a lot of factors that can go into the money decisions that you make. And once you're aware of those things, it'll make you so much more prepared to handle your finances in a way that is going to benefit you and allow you to build wealth.
And like she said, awareness. Although I'm not recommending this, but if you know that you have a soft spot for Susie or for Johnny when they're in a jam and they need to borrow some cash, possibly a way to combat that money script is to maybe put a little cushion in your budget so that if they do ask that, it's not taking away from your responsibilities and things like that, where you're able to give if that's something that you truly want to do. Whether you're giving to your church organization, to a homeless person on the street, whoever it might be. If you know that you like to give, that can be a helpful way where you can combat that so that you don't feel terrible when, I gave away $20 in my pocket. How am I supposed to get to work now? How am I supposed to get, wherever or buy my lunch? Where you don't have to worry about those little issues. So just to show you that we all have different examples of things that our feelings with money, and those feelings don't just come from nowhere. They come from family, from society, from, a whole bunch of influences, and that's what make our relationships with money individualized and different from person to person.
So the tool that we're going to be using is called Money Habitudes. This is actually, yes, a card game that is created by Sybil Solomon. So shout outs to her and thank her for giving us the promo codes that we're going to share with you today so you guys can get a major discount on this really cool tool. So how this works, there are some cards. There's both an online version and an actual card game available. So if you go to the website, which we will link to below, they're available on Amazon for $15. There is the adult card, which is what we have here. There's also a version for young adults, which is only online. It's currently not available on Amazon. There's also a version for teens, and there's actually a version in Spanish as well. So there's definitely a wide range of cards available for different people in different age groups that are more relevant to, the things that you're going through in your life and scenarios that are more likely to come up in your situation. So this tool really helps you discover why you do what you do and what's really behind the decisions that you make with your money.
And now we're going to show you the Money Habitudes tool and what we were able to identify about our own personal money scripts and how that might work out in our relationship.
We have 2 different decks because it's recommended that each person perform the activity separately, and then you can kind of compare results afterward.
I think things will work out, so I don't worry about money. This is never, ever me. Never.
Never that. When someone does something nice for me, I feel I owe him or her. I'll put that under that's me.
I owe money after the holidays because I spend a lot on gifts. Never me. And not that I don't spend money on gifts, but I'm a strong believer in budgeting. Just so I put that out there. So, like I mentioned in my credit card video, if I spend something, I always make sure I have enough money to cover it.
I will buy things that cost less instead of getting what I really want. You think that's me?
Yes.
I know you say that's definitely me. I know.
Things happen that I didn't plan on, like a car breaks down or I get sick. I have extra money for those types of things, or I know how I can get money right away if I need it. Yes, that's definitely me.
I have lots of things I bought but never used. Never that. Never that. I never understood that, how people buy clothes and then don't wear them. But that's just me.
I wonder where my money is spent. It seems to just disappear. That is not me.
I have money secrets. Oh, about how much I spend or how much I owe or how much I lose or how much I give away. No, I'm an open book. Y'all know that.
I have to pay late fees because I don't pay my bills on time. That's never me.
When I need money, I just ask my friends or family to help me. The devil is a liar. That is not me. I feel I should pay the bill when I eat out with others. Who does this? Separate checks all the way. That is definitely not me. Okay. So this is how our piles turned out. Misha, you only have 3 columns?
Yeah, for the that's me, I have spontaneous, planning, and security. I'm definitely a planner and security, and I think that that's pretty spot on.
Do you want to tell them all about security since that's your main habitude? You can read that one.
Security. Money helps you feel safe, secure, and in control. How do you see yourself? How do others see you? Thrifty, prepared, suspicious, cheap. People definitely see me as this. My grandmother and my mom always call me cheap, thrifty. I don't think that I am. I just think that I have a budget and I really do a great job at sticking to it, and that's just something that they don't understand because I definitely think that they're more spontaneous.
So this right side is my pile, and you can see overwhelmingly my top habitude is, surprise, surprise, planning. And I could have probably guessed that. I mean, I am a financial planner after all. And so planning, what do they say about planning? Money helps you achieve your goals is what that habitude reflects. But also security is actually one of the bigger ones for me too, which is interesting for the both of us, is that planning and security are our top 2 money habitudes. And then spontaneity for him is the third, as well as that's the third for mine as well, with a sprinkle of other things in there. So it's very interesting that we have very similar money habitudes.
And I guess I'm not that giving.
I guess I'm not that either. I only have 2 cards, but still, I guess not. But that's very interesting. And so what they say about planning is that money helps you achieve your goals. How do you see yourself and how do others see you? They see you as responsible, accomplished, driven, and conservative. Some advantages may be that you make intentional money decisions based on values and desired long-term outcomes. You have reserves to pay for the unexpected. You set and accomplish goals. You buy items that you really want and that will retain value and have a sense of well-being and control. So this might sound like a really good habitude to have, but there's also, let's look at what they say the challenges are of being a planner. Challenges may be you might feel pressured to spend in ways that don't fit your budget or values. That's true. Expected to help others. That is true. Find it hard to respond to new opportunities. Find it hard to adapt or let go of a plan. Be intolerant or impatient when others do not meet your standards or have different values. That's interesting. Hide or withhold information from significant others to stay in control of the money. How do you feel about that?
I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't think I'd hide or withhold information from you to stay in control of money. Would you do that? Planning was really strong for you too.
Hey, I don't know what you do.
Would you do that?
Mm-mm.
You got secret bank accounts that I don't know about?
I think everybody has secrets.
Oh.
Everybody has money on the side.
Oh. So you're telling me, you're basically admitting that you have money on the side.
I have money on the side, if that's what you want to hear. I do have money on the side.
Incriminating yourself. See, we learning some secrets coming out in this video. How much money we talking?
Money.
Well, I don't have any money secrets at all. I'm an open book. So that's really interesting how we have the same planning trait, but how we differ on that regard.
But I will add that I became that way. My mom always says that I'm too open about things. And I've had some experiences, unfortunately, some with family members that have really caused me not to be as open and as, giving and forthcoming with information.
That's interesting. I'm sure you can trust me though, with knowing about your money.
Yeah, for sure.
But you still got some side cash. That's okay though. So the Money Habitudes cards are usually $15 if you go on Amazon or on the website. $15 is what you're gonna have to pay for these cards. But for a limited time only, for the next 30 days, only for the bemused viewers, we are going to have the Money Habitudes available online for only $5. So make sure you guys go and take advantage of that offer. Trust me, you will not regret it. This is a very, very, very helpful exercise. Like I said, that will benefit you for probably the rest of your life. Once you understand your money behaviors and why you do what you do, you'll definitely be able to manage your money better.